Hello, welcome to today's episode of Juicing the Numbers. I am your host, Joshua Tracy.
And I am Corwin Heller.
And we are going to be talking about the MLB 2019 All-Star ballot. Some of the people who are on it, our picks, what we look for it, shit along that line.
Yeah. How do you want to start this?
Well, I guess as is typical for our Monday episodes, before we jump into things, we will play our advertisement from our friends over at Sports Trebuchet.
Do you like to talk about sports?
Do you like podcasts?
Do you like talking about professional wrestling?
Do you like medieval weaponry?
Then check us out at Sports Trebuchet on Twitter or listen to us, Sports Trebuchet on iTunes, Google, Spotify, or anywhere you listen.
All right. So, let's start with, what do you look for when you're selecting, your picks for the All-Star team? Stats or, like intangibles, like star power? What are you looking at?
I try not to look at star power too much. I like to look at offensively OPS. I think from the information they give us, that's kind of the most...
Nice catch-all stat.
Yeah, it's a good catch-all for what they're producing offensively. And then I always try to take, to some degree, defense into consideration. We'll go into this, but there are some guys who might not have the highest OPS at their position, but their defense is good enough that it makes up for that offensive difference in production.
I think I look at star power a little bit because the reason the MLB All-Star Game exists. Do you know?
I'm assuming that it was a way back in the day to actually get people to come to the ballpark because they want to see the biggest stars of baseball when people couldn't watch it all on TV every day.
Yeah, well, it actually started before TV really became a thing. I think 34 was the last year, because I think Babe Ruth's last season was the first All-Star. It was close. They barely overlapped, Babe Ruth and the All-Star Game. But it was heavily a thing because it was the only time that, if you followed the Yankees in the 1940s, you weren't going to see any National League players because there was no interleague play outside the World Series. So unless the National League team that had stars like the Giants with Willie Mays or whatever, it doesn't matter, came to your ballpark to play one series in October, you weren't going to see them. So it was a way to kind of highlight the stars from around the sport where fans weren't able to see. So I guess I take star power into consideration a little bit for that. Not too much though, because I do think stats should be the main point. But I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. I was gonna say something about Robinson Cano, but I think he didn't go last year because he had that PED suspension.
I believe you are correct.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I wasn't mad about Gleyber Torres not going because Robinson Cano went last year, and I get that, but then I remembered that Gleyber Torres did go and Robinson Cano was suspended, so I had no point. I had nothing to say. I think OPS is a good one. So I have the MLB All-Star ballot pulled up in front of me right now, and the four stats that it gives is batting average, home runs, RBIs, and OPS. And I get average to an extent.
Yep.
Sure, okay, it's an old school one. Totally get home runs. It's the flashiest thing you can do as a batter, and that's kind of one of the All-Star Games' things. So, get that. RBIs?
That's weird. I don't even bother looking at RBIs when I look at this, just because it's a team stat, and we're looking at individual player performances.
Yeah, RBIs for us is barely useful in any context as dudes who look at this shit. But especially for the All-Star Game, I don't care if I'm voting for Miguel Cabrera with his 27 RBIs. I don't care how many times he got Nico Goodrum to score or whatever.
Yeah,
it seems so useless.
also don't know why they don't have WAR as a category. I feel like that is like the all-around encompassing statistic for determining value. We're picking these players off of value, and it's the only thing that even bothers to include defensive statistics.
It's new enough, I get it. Especially because it's only been updated daily like it is now for the past few years. So, like, it's very fresh.
But it is updated daily now. So
no,
it is
available. But I'm saying I understand why the MLB, who wants to get full fan participation in this, wouldn't put in something as lesser discussed as WAR is to the common baseball community. It's not something that gets brought up much during broadcasts. It's not something that gets brought up much during radio programming. It's very much so something that's more so if you were baseball inclined in the modern sense, with sabermetrics, you would be more invested in.
I would say it's talked about just as much as OPS, maybe slightly less.
Oh, no way. OPS is on every single scoreboard in every single ballpark. WAR is not.
But like commentators and announcers, they still talk about players' WAR. That's how they compare players.
Dude, like not a lot, not nearly as much as OPS comes into the conversation. So, I fully get it. Now, if
why not add it though? Why not have it along with?
Let me ask you, because I just think that the MLB is weird with how much it wants to promote stats. Because I think that they want to be a traditional game and an advanced game, and they don't know how to balance it. But let me ask you this: so you had to put together the all advanced stat metric ballot. They have 4 stats here. Give me the 4 stats you would put up.
Home runs, OPS, WAR. I don't know. Probably like WOBA.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I would go average exit velocity.
Okay.
Percent barrels, OPS, and what would be another fun one? Something stupid. Like something that would...
Sprint speed?
I was actually thinking sprint speed. Sprint speed would be stupid enough to like kind of be fun.
Or like stealing percentage.
What about like...
Success rate for steals?
That's not... Launch angle wouldn't make any sense there. I'll just go home runs too, because it feels it's fun.
It's home runs. It's
average
baseball.
How about average home run distance?
That'd be fun.
Like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Fuck. That'd be awesome.
All right, so we can get to... Actually, we don't get to pick pitchers. MLB All-Star voting is only done for hitters. The managers and players get to choose the pitchers.
Yet they still barely were able to pick Snell last year because they're dumb.
They didn't pick Snell last year.
Well, he still was able to go.
Yeah, he well, I think it was because someone else didn't go, right?
Someone
Wasn't
got
that the
hurt,
whole thing?
yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. They didn't.
And they needed someone
really
to
pick
go
him.
in.
Yeah. All right. First, let's do American League, and then we'll loop back to the National League because no one cares about the National League.
I mean, all right, but
fuck them Pirates.
Can we go by like position at least?
Yeah.
All right. So, like first base, ALNO.
Oh, you want to do it like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, because it's literally how the ballot is set up.
Yeah, but fuck them National Leagues.
All right, well, go fuck your Yankees. How about that?
All right, who would you put for the American League first baseman?
I put Carlos Santana. He has the highest OPS by about 20 points. He doesn't have he has the highest average by a decent amount for anyone compared to him. I never looked up any of the WAR stats for these guys that wasn't listed. I just went off straight what was on the page. I think the dip in home runs is decent enough to put him over a guy like Luke Voigt, who I would 99% assume you put down.
You'd be 100% correct.
Yeah.
He's a Yankee. I mean, he's a Yankee and he's having a good season. I mean, that's all I really need. That's the minimum threshold I have.
I tried to be, I wanted to be unbiased.
Where's the fun in that?
Here. Well, because I know you're going to be biased as hell, so I figured one of us might as well be unbiased.
Sorry for being a fan.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, no, I think I picked Luke Voigt also because he has a better story coming into this season than Carlos Santana does. What? What's that face? He does.
But like, is the All-Star game supposed to be about who has the best story?
No, but their stats are comparable enough. I don't think it really matters.
All right, fair enough. Like
that's
argument,
what I'm saying.
I'm not,
yeah,
like saying is a big deal.
Well, I mean,
like,
I don't want to.
I don't
want
like
to reiterate because you just said that
know,
they
but,
had
like,
all.
I feel like
you
having
just
a better
Carlos.
story isn't something that we should be arguing.
No, I'm saying
about.
I shouldn't have to say, oh, well, he's only behind Carlos Santana for everything you just said. Carlos Santana's just ahead of him for. So I jumped right on in. I figured you could extrapolate a small amount of information there.
I'm not annoyed with that in any way. I'm just saying
you got real goddamn snarky, really goddamn fast.
Why you would be bringing up his story as
he's a bet. I think he has pinstripes is a thing as it is when it comes to All-Star voting. His stats are really good this season, which is a pleasant surprise because I think a lot of people, myself included, were pretty worried about him coming into the year. And yeah, I think that the whole like log jammed got traded for fucking nothing, and then ended up since he came up to the Yankees, he like that time frame last season, he leads the entire American League in home runs.
Yeah,
which is pretty impressive for a guy that could not crack a major league roster for a specific amount of time with the Cardinals. So I think that's kind of cool. Yeah. So in addition to his Yankees-ness, I'll go with Voit. Who would your NL pick be?
It has to be Josh Bell.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, first base in the National League is so significantly deeper. Like, there's probably like 4 to 5 guys I would pick in the National League over anyone in the American League, and that's being, very conservative. He's absolutely murdering baseballs, hitting .338. 18 home runs, and a 1,091 OPS. He is just killing it. I'm so happy he's breaking out as a Pirate. I love this man.
I don't really watch enough of National League ball to know what any of these dudes look like in particular. A lot of the usual suspects. I mean, first base is so incredibly deep in the National League.
It's wild.
Between Aguilar and Alonso and Bell, and then you have Freddie Freeman and Goldschmidt as usual. Hosmer's not having the year I guess I thought he was having, but he's still having a pretty decent year, as is Max Muncy and Anthony Rizzo. But I think you're probably right. Josh Bell's probably the right answer here. I don't think there's too many wrong choices. There are some, but there's not like a lot. Like
That's
if you
the thing, like there's so many guys you could go with and make a serious argument for in the National League.
Yeah, but I think Josh Bell, if there was to be a right answer, I think Josh Bell's probably the right answer. All right, so give me your second base.
In the American League, I went with Tommy La Stella. He has just been so good this year. I didn't believe his stat line when I first saw it, but he's been absolutely killing it. The only player with at least a 900 OPS. He's batting over 300. He's just been phenomenal. So why not give him the All-Star nod?
I got to give this to LeMahieu.
I wonder why.
It's going to be... Don't be surprised.
I know.
No, I'm not talking to you. Don't be surprised. I mean, I'm going to pick down the line pinstripes. Like, it's who I am in my blood, especially when the first two dudes are two dudes that have been having stellar years for us.
Like, I would actually be upset if these guys weren't being phenomenal this year.
What do you think DJ LeMahieu's batting average is with runners in scoring position?
It's got to be over 400.
It's almost 500.
Wow.
Like, it was 450 going into yesterday's game, and he picked up 2 more hits with runners in scoring position.
I did. I saw that, yeah.
He's playing out of his goddamn mind.
He's fantastic.
He's batting .323 right now.
I don't know why, I always thought he was ginger. I thought he was red-haired.
Is he not?
He's not. He has like my color hair.
Does he?
Yeah, like every time he takes off his helmet after like he scores
I've genuinely never noticed.
I've
just in my mind I thought he was ginger.
Yeah, I have no idea where that came from or how it occurred, but the dude
he's got
has
the face
normal
for
fucking
it.
hair. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does. I also think he has kind of a neat story because he was another big question mark coming over to the Yankees this year. Because he is a product of Coors Field, and he has these like not terrible, but like not good-looking home road splits from his time there, which like a lot of Rockies players do. And
almost all of them do, yeah.
Yeah, so there was like a lot of speculation of like, well, will he be able to do this because he's a singles-hitting, spray-hitting second baseman, and they want to use him as a utility infielder. in Yankee Stadium, and fucking hey, man, he's just been doing it. It's Gary Sanchez gave him a nickname. It's the Machine.
Machine.
That is pretty fitting thus far. So I'm gonna have to give it to my boy DJ. If I didn't, I'll do a censored Yankees pick. If I didn't pick a Yankee, it would probably also be Tommy La Stella.
I love that Tommy La Stella is actually like really good now. Like when he was on the Cubs, it's like everyone was always like, "Oh, Tommy La Stella, you know, he's one of the best pinch hitters in the league, you know, utility kind of guy." And now he's actually getting real playing time, and it's like, "Oh yeah, no, they weren't wrong. He's very good."
Yeah, no, it's been fun, and you know what? How many good players do the Angels need before they start being a good baseball team?
A lot more. I don't know why, but they do.
I guess pitchers at this point because they don't have any of those.
Thank God Heaney's coming back. Well, he's been back, but he's like ramping up again.
He's still Jekyll and Hyde to me.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
All right, nationally, who do you got?
Mike Moustakas.
Moose has been playing second?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Who's playing third for the Brewers?
It's been him and Travis Shaw kind of back and forth.
Okay.
Shaw was playing third to start the year, and then he got hurt. Moose moved over, and they called up Keston Huayra.
Oh yes, right. We watched his debut game together.
Yeah. I think he's back playing. I don't remember, but he's been moved around a little bit. But I mean, the National League second baseman.
Yeah, this is awful.
Not great.
This is a pit of despair.
Not a lot of good players here. Yeah. I feel like because he's the only guy with over a 900 OPS and he's also leading them in home runs, it's just kind of his to lose by default.
I will go with Ketel Marte because why not?
Yeah, why not?
Plus, one thing to keep in mind as we do this is every team must send one representative to the All-Star game. Yeah. And since the Diamondbacks don't have Goldschmidt...
Yeah. Or really anyone.
I guess they could still send Greinke. I'm sure he'll pitch an
Christian
inning.
Walker.
Christian Walker would be an interesting choice. But I could see Ketel Marte because why not?
Maybe not as the starter, but, you know.
Yeah, because, I mean, the Brewers, I'm sure, will have, like, Yelich is going to go.
Right.
Yeah.
He's pretty much locked in already.
He's a top 3 MVP candidate so far this season.
Right.
I mean, he's going to go to the All-Star game. So... if the Brewers didn't send anybody else, they'd at least be sending him and probably Josh Hader and a few other guys. But
Hader will definitely go. Yeah.
So fuck it, yeah. I'm go Ketel Marte, who's having himself a nice little year.
I don't disagree with you. That's enough there.
How gentlemanly.
Oh yeah.
All right, who do you got for third base in the AL?
I went with Matt Chapman. He
Shocker.
doesn't really have the best stats in any category. Hunter Dozier and Alex Bregman are, roughly 100 points better in OPS. Bregman has more home runs. They're both batting with a higher average. But Matt Chapman is arguably the best defender in all of baseball. And that's definitely not a stat that they have listed. And I think that needs to be taken into serious consideration. And he's definitely an all-star caliber third baseman for sure.
I like your points. I have 3 different choices.
Yes.
So when I vote personally, I pick Giovanni Urshela because I vote down the line pinstripes, and he's also having a good. He's batting .323. He's
not having a bad year at all.
Batting over .320 is huge.
I know, but he's not the kind of name that you would presume. He's not having the kind of like. Tommy La Stella isn't a household name.
Right.
But he's been playing so well for so long, people are really talking about him now. I don't think Urshela really has had that same media coverage.
Oh, no, of course not.
It's a very under-the-radar, good to great season.
I think that's fair, especially on a team that's full of those dudes doing that right now. Mm-hmm. I think that's fair. So that's my personal vote. Setting all teams aside and the representatives, I'd probably go Alex Bregman for reasons you already said. If I had to consider team representation, I might go Yohan Moncada.
Okay. Okay.
Because neither of us picked Abreu for first.
Right.
And I feel like those corner spots are the only two positions. Oh, Giolito.
Yeah, I was going to say Lucas Giolito.
Yeah, no, you're right. I figured with that point that's exactly who it was going to be. Yeah.
Yep.
Giolito could possibly go too. But since we can't pick starting pitching or pitching at all, I should say, if I had to pick a position player, Moncada would probably be the guy. Him or Abreu would be one of the guys I would send. So those are kind of like my three picks there.
So like purely offensively, I think Bregman is the top choice.
Plus, he has the star power we talked about.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Hunter Dozier from the Royals, I'd like to see him play, at least get in, and I think he will. But, again, I just have to stick with that defense.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. National League, who you got? This is also a very deep spot for the National League.
Yep, and I had to go with Nolan Arenado.
Shocking.
I mean, he's arguably the best third baseman in all of baseball, and he's having a fantastic year, so how could you not?
Yeah, I mean, I would also pick him if I was to go with representation. No, because Scherzer's definitely going to go. I was going to say maybe we could get Rendon in there, but I just don't see a way that Arenado's not the starter, at least.
Honestly, Arenado might have to be the starter because of representation. Like, who else are the Rockies?
That's fucking true. Who else is on the Rockies team?
None of their pitchers have been up to the level they were last year.
Herman Marquez has been good.
He's been okay. He hasn't been phenomenal the way he was last year.
Kyle Freeland got sent down.
Yeah, I mean, none of their other hitters have been exceptional. Daniel Murphy might be able to get in at first base, but he is very far down that list of first basemen.
How's Blackman doing? I guess we'll get
he's
there.
He's been
but
good, not great.
I know Ionetta's doing better as of late.
I wouldn't say anyone else really is all-star caliber
now.
You
might be right. Yeah, I guess. So he's the right choice by production and representation. So that's good. Yep. All right, cool. I can accept that. All right, shortstop, American League. What do you got?
Jorge Polanco. I mean, I wish I could go with my boy Francisco Lindor, but Polanco's outplaying him and pretty much everyone else in the American League at shortstop this year. So he's been phenomenal. He's just been absolutely phenomenal.
I think this is a really tough one.
Mm-hmm. There's so many good options.
Because it's deep, and this is probably the only... I guess Whit Merrifield could have been a choice for the Royals at second. I was going to say Adalberto Mondesi at short might be the Royals guy this season. But then you also mentioned... that's the thing. They're a fun... I know I mentioned this before. They're a fun fucking team.
Yeah.
Their hitting's not fucking bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
They don't have any depth, but they have some serious guys up top.
Yeah, no, they're a fun fucking team. Polanco's the right choice. I'll start with that. I would, of course, vote for Gleyber Torres.
Indubitably.
Yep. Yeah, that's really it. I'd like to see Andrelton Simmons, but he was hurt. That's the same story for Francisco Lindor. Tim Beckham cooled off a ton after his big start to the season. Correa's hurt. Ooh, Anderson would be an interesting choice too.
Tim Anderson.
Yeah.
I could see him going just based off of, like, if you're going to talk about Story being able to get you into the All-Star game, Tim Anderson has that story this year.
And if the MLB cares enough to promote him, I mean, that's a dude you can promote a ton.
Yeah.
He's a great follow on Twitter, by the way, if anyone ever cares to do so. Super positive, funny dude.
His wife looks like an alien, though.
Yeah, we mentioned this.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, so yeah, I think there's a lot of good choices here. It hurts to say, but also Xander Bogaerts would make a great choice.
Yeah.
The Red Sox don't have to worry about representation because they will certainly be sending Mookie and Chris Sale at the very least, and JD Martinez in all likelihood.
The top of this list, though: Jorge Polanco, Francisco Lindor, Xander Bogaerts, Carlos Correa, Gleyber Torres, Tim Anderson, Alberto Mondesi.
There's a lot of good guys.
There's so many names here.
National League.
We're both fucking idiots.
Why?
Because we forgot Trevor Story in the National League for the Rockies.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking how, like, there's nobody in the Rockies that could go to the All-Star game. Trevor Story could easily go. He's not my vote, but he's top 2 for me.
Who would you go with?
Javi Baez.
You keep taking all mine, damn it. All right.
I mean, it's not like we're picking wild out there picks.
Yeah, no, you're right.
it's really close. Same home runs, almost identical OPS. Baez just has a slightly better batting average, just over 300. Again, it's not a bad group. Like, there's some big names here.
Did you notice how many home runs the Marlins shortstop has hit, Miguel Rojas?
No. Oh, that's bad.
It's 0. How do you hit 0? Like, dude, how do you hit none? We're halfway through the year. How do you hit none?
How does he hit 0 home runs, yet still have a higher OPS than Brandon Crawford, who has hit 5?
I'm going to assume a lot of singles for Crawford as well, and a lot of extra base. But 0. How do you get 0? I don't get it.
It's not good.
You have a 266 batting average. One of them just didn't fucking accidentally go over a wall?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I can't imagine in today's game with juiced balls and like launch angles and advanced stats and all that, where you see low-end home run hitters getting at least 10 in a season, more like at least 15 at this point.
Yeah.
A guy has 0 by the All-Star break.
Which is hilarious.
I just am shocked.
Hey, he might have one by the All-Star break, the actual All-Star break.
I mean, yeah, we're still like almost a month out, but
So.
Just wow. Okay. Yeah, so you're right. Paul DeJong would be a cool pick. Corey Seager would be a cool pick because he came back from injury. We already mentioned Trevor Story.
Tatis would be a good one.
He just got back from injury.
Yeah,
he missed too much time, I think, to get the kind of consideration he's going to need to get it.
If he maintained his level, I think he would be a front runner.
Yeah, if he didn't go on the IL, I could definitely see him. Granted, the Padres will almost certainly be sending Manny Machado as well as Kirby Yates, but
probably Chris Paddock too.
Oh, very good choice. Yeah, they probably, in all likelihood. But yeah, this seems like a top heavy selection here in the National League, with the bottom being really bad.
I really think that this is a 2-horse race for starter between Story and Baez, but there's some good names in there for sure.
I think it'll probably be Baez just because he's a flashier player.
Do we even need to talk about catcher? Because
of course we do. This is my favorite one. This is where I get vindication for the last 2 years.
Vindication.
I was thinking the Vindicators.
Nah, Jesus.
From Rick and Morty. All right. AL. Who are you going to send?
It's Gary Sanchez.
It's Gary Sanchez. It's my Dominican dad. It is everybody's favorite pudgy player. It's Gary Sanchez. I love him so much. Let's look at those beautiful, beautiful statistics of his .262 batting average, his AL leading 19 home runs, 37 R's beat I, and his .975 OPS on a murderous rampage out there. He has already exceeded his 2018 home run total in like 40-something games this season. He is crushing it. Defense looks good. Oh, God. I wanted to yell at my father so much last year for wanting to trade Gary Sanchez to different teams, and I'm finally vindicated. I knew it was going to happen. I'm proud of my large Dominican son.
I mean, I want to fight this as much as I can, but he's so far and above any other catcher in baseball right now.
Yeah, he is. Oh, it's my guy. That's my guy. Yeah. Oh, woo, buddy. I'm so happy I bought that jersey and it panned out well, because I bought that jersey in like 2017 and could have gone very poorly very fast based on his 2018. But anyway, what do you got for the National League?
I got Wilson Contreras for almost the same reason. He's just been so phenomenal this year.
Yeah. Grandal would be an interesting choice. I'm really just trying to see who comes in second here. I doubt Posey goes this year. Did he go last year?
I don't think so.
I don't remember. Yeah, you're probably right though.
Posey's been good, but I don't think he upsets Contreras.
No, I think you're probably right. Real Muto's having a decent little season there, but I don't think he's going to be. Actually, we haven't picked a Philly. Who would the Phillies send? Because Harper's not doing well.
No, Rhys Hoskins could.
Would
Nola's not.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No?
He's been
Okay.
bad this year.
Has he?
Yeah, he's been taking a nosedive. Scott Kingery, I could see him going just as a utility guy. He's been really great when he's been on the field this year.
I guess they can't send Kutch.
Yeah, Gene Segura has been okay, but not great. Rhys Hoskins been pretty good, but not phenomenal. I don't know.
Who would you pick if you were like the commissioner? You're picking your Philly. Final choice.
Let me just see how deep. Like, I want to say it would be Rhys Hoskins.
I'd probably also pick
many
Rhys.
Really good first baseman. I don't know if he'd make the cut. I'd probably just say Scott Kingery and put him in the outfield.
Okay, that's fair. I guess either one would work. They both came up. They were both summoned up from the Phillies. So that's I think what I would try to shoot for if I had to pick somebody by default. So I think that's fair. All right, so outfield we're going to pick 3. You want to do them?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, pick all 3 at once. Okay. All right, give me your 3.
American League, Mike Trout, obviously. I think this one should just be filled in on every ballot that they.
Yeah, that you can come auto-populated with Mike
Yeah.
Trout. Yeah.
I got George Springer because he's been absolutely phenomenal this year, and my dark horse, who's not really a dark horse, Austin Meadows.
Oh,
former
okay.
Pirate.
That's a good one.
He has been slaughtering it this year. He's been so good. Batting .350 with 1,069 OPS, 12 home runs. He's been killing it. I hate the trade that sent him to the Rays, but
Looks worse and worse every day.
I got to support him still.
Yeah, this is gonna be really tough because there's so many.
Yeah.
So again, Mike Trout's an obvious pick. So let's give you the other 2. Out sheerly of they have to send somebody. I'm gonna pick Trey Mancini.
Okay. Yeah.
He's having himself a good year too.
He's definitely having a good year for sure.
At 915 OPS, he's batting over 300. I mean, that's
He will definitely go for sure.
yeah. Starting is I doubt it,
Yeah.
but he will go. So I feel very confident in that because I just don't know who the fuck else they'd send. I also want to shout out. Fucking can't think of his name. I'm gonna go Joey Gallo.
He's been great.
Joey Gallo having a really
Huge.
really big year, and we
Huge
also
improvements.
have not picked a Ranger.
That's true. He will definitely go for the Rangers.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Mike Minor maybe could go for the Rangers. He's having a decent season.
I don't think he's all-star caliber compared to
I'm
Joey Gallo.
I'm just
though.
trying to think of who
Yeah.
else they would possibly send.
Rugned
Rugned how's he? Bad.
No,
Yeah.
that's not great.
Joey Gallo's gonna
He
go.
really is
Yeah.
the only option.
So since you picked 3 of the better ones, well, neither of us said Mookie. What do you think about Mookie this year? He had 271 average, 10 home runs, 29 RBIs, and 849 OPS.
I think he's
All relatively pedestrian
I
numbers.
assume he's going to get in.
I would
don't
assume
know
the
if he's
same.
going to start, and I think it's going to be the Matt Chapman treatment, where his offensive numbers are very good, but they're not league leading. But I think his defensive metrics are going to be what puts him over the edge to ensure that he goes to the All-Star game.
Yeah, it's tough. I came into this ready to pick him off the bat, and
Numbers are
I
not that
feel
great.
I feel really confident not picking him.
Yeah, his numbers are not that great.
Those are all very middle of the road numbers.
Granted, they're very good numbers for a baseball player, but for Mookie Betts, they're not great.
Yeah, this is I guess about more where I kind of expected him to be, but it's still weird to see it.
Yeah.
After he put up a 10-WAR year last year.
Oh, for sure.
All right, give me your National League picks.
So I think there are 2 more just should already be included when you get the ballot with Cody Bellinger and Christian Yelich.
Yeah, it's basically guaranteed.
Like they are just so far ahead of anyone else. My third pick I'm still struggling with.
Blackman actually does have a 921 OPS.
Yeah, he's not having a bad year. He's been really great. That's all-star level numbers. Same with
David Dahl.
Yeah,
look at that.
I guess I just don't watch enough Rockies to really notice these things.
Why would you waste your time?
But part of me really wants to send Juan Soto. But Jock Peterson just has better numbers all around. I know he still can't hit lefties at all. And I don't know how much that really affects all-star ballots. And then Scott Kingery's right there, too, with just great numbers, just no power, which I think is the big thing that's been holding him back. He's also missed a decent chunk of time.
I would love to see Acuna.
Okay.
I think that would be my pick. He's having himself a fine year.
Fine, not great.
Nope.
Not like tremendous.
This is basically slightly better than Mookie Betts' stat line.
Mm-hmm.
And Braves got to send somebody. We haven't picked another Brave yet. He's a young dude. They've tried marketing him a lot, so MLB likes him. He's a good player. Seems like a quality dude. He's, I guess, the current face of the Braves and hopefully future face. So, and he's having a decent season. So I think that would be.
Granted, it's better than decent, but considering how he did last year, and we're picking the 3 best outfielders.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I keep using the word decent and like
the
good.
benchmark's just different
when we're talking about the All-Star ballot.
Yeah,
because we're you're comparing it against the literal best in the game at your position. So yeah, I think I'd be pretty comfortable with a Yelich, Bellinger, Acuna outfield for the All-Star game.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right, so there is no DH in the National League yet. So, give me your American League pick.
I went J.D. Martinez.
Shocking to the world.
Yeah. You going to pick Giancarlo Stanton?
The man who has 2 hits this season?
Yep.
Before getting placed on the IL?
Still somehow has, like, the 6th highest OPS out of all designated hitters.
Yeah, with 0 home runs and 0 RBIs. I could also see Daniel Vogelback going for the Mariners. They have to send somebody, and their pitching all sucks.
True. No one else is really killing it for them anymore.
No, we talked about Tim Beckham, how he started off really hot and slowed down a ton. They don't have Robinson Cano anymore. No one cares about D. Gordon.
For first base, could sneak in. I think I actually had him as my number 2 choice for first base.
Yeah, although I see DH as being a position no one's going to whine about.
No.
You know what I mean? Which could just be why Vogelback goes. Especially because the Seattle fan base has taken to Vogelback so readily.
Mm-hmm.
They love him. He is their new head meme. They now put Vogel in front of everything. He is their Vogel boy, their Vogel baby. He hits Vogel slams. This is what Mariners Twitter currently looks like nowadays. So you know what? Yeah, fuck it. Like he's having himself a very nice rookie season. 15 home runs, 926 OPS. Both of those are near the top of this list, if not the top of this list. And actually, it is. Those are both the highest. Out of all the DH marks. So, fuck it. Daniel Vogelback.
Fair enough. I'll give it to you.
That's kind of it, really. Who would you picture starting, being the starting pitcher for each team?
I honestly want to pause the recording or cut it out so that we could bring up, the leaders and everything, and we could actually pick, 5 pitchers from each league to be in the All-Star game, just because I feel like off the top of my head I wouldn't be able to do justice.
Who do you think would be the starter of the American League between the classic debate as of late, Chris Sale and Justin Verlander?
I think the start of the season for Chris Sale was enough to give it to Justin Verlander. Recently, I think he's definitely been better, and he's shown it with his numbers. But if we're talking about the full season, I think we'd have to go with Verlander.
Who would you pick as... Actually, hold on 1 second. Let's look at the WAR leaderboard for pitchers. Guess who has the most wins above replacement for pitchers in MLB?
Who?
A guy you shit on me for earlier, Mike Minor.
Yeah.
Leads with 4.1 wins above replacement, which is head and shoulders above number 2, which is Justin Verlander.
Yeah.
Actually,
for the National League.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. Because after Verlander, the next American League pitcher is Boyd, and then after that, it's Jake Odorizzi and Luke Giolito. Sale not even cracking the top 10, which I know his start of the season was pretty bad, but I would have figured he would have climbed up the rankings a bit by now. Although I guess fuck me. So what would you think if you turned on the MLB All-Star game and you saw that Mike Minor was a starting pitcher for the American League?
Even though the numbers back it up, I'd say it's a fucking joke. Because at the end of the day, it's still Mike Minor over Justin Verlander. And I don't know, consider that to be the old way of thinking in my mind, that bad pitchers who have a long history of being not good also all of a sudden becoming very good for half a season doesn't really line up well in my book.
I mean, he has a career 3.86 ERA.
It's not great.
That's very good.
It's not tremendous.
That's very good. Well, I mean, you can't compare it to Verlander. Verlander's a Hall of Famer, but saying a 3.86 isn't like a 3.86 ERA is very good.
You're right.
I know it. This season, he has a 2.55 ERA. He has started 13 games. No, this is Mike Minor.
Yeah, it's higher than Verlander.
No, I'm just reading out his stats.
Okay, I'm just saying it's higher than
Bitch, can I just
Verlander.
read out the man's stats?
Motherfucker.
He has one complete game shutout. He has 81.1 innings pitched. He has an ERA plus of 193, a FIP of 340, a WHIP of 1.217. Justin Verlander this season has a 2.40 ERA. He has 14 games started. He has pitched the most innings in all of baseball, actually, at 93.2. He has a 182 ERA plus and a WHIP of 0.737, which also leads all of baseball.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
So yeah, it's interesting that they're. I wonder what the gap is that has created such a rift between, such a jump between Verlander and Minor in terms of wins above replacement. Because I know Verlander's defense is also very good.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has any Gold Gloves, but he's a very good defensive pitcher, and his basic numbers all look. They literally led all of baseball in 2 of them.
Yeah.
Kind of odd. Not odd, but I'm sure there's a reason. I'm just not sure what it is. It's interesting.
I feel you. I mean, I wish I knew the answer, but I know I'm giving Minor the short end of the stick and being completely unfair towards him. But
yes, you are.
I don't care.
So I think there's actually 5 AL pitchers here. So how would you feel if the five starting pitchers, no, we're not going to count any of the relief pitchers, were Mike Minor, Justin Verlander, Matt Boyd, Jake Odorizzi, and Lucas Giolito? Kind of an odd group.
Yeah,
but
that's just a weird group to have.
I kind of love that though.
Why not? I mean,
it's funky and
weird. Again, I think he's been more lucky than good. The rest, I wouldn't be upset with. Boyd and Giolito have been just fantastic this year compared to years past.
Wow, Jake Odorizzi also owns a 3.82 lifetime ERA.
What's his FIP this year?
His FIP is 2.81, so he's not even like that much. There's not even that big of a gap between his FIP and his ERA.
A full 1 point gap, though, is
I should say his
big.
FIP isn't like comically high.
Right.
If he was performing to his FIP, he'd still be having an amazing season.
Right. He's definitely been overperforming compared to years past.
Oh, that's safe to say.
Yeah. I wouldn't be terribly upset. I feel like Garrett Cole not making it in the top 5.
Chris Sale, like we said. I mean, there's definitely other good pitchers who are deserving. But if those are the starting 5, I wouldn't love it, but I don't think I'd be up in arms about it. Yeah. I mean, I'd love it if they sent a Yankee.
Well, tell the Yankees pitchers to be better then.
Domingo Germán, I think, still leads the league in wins. At least he did last time I cared to check.
Do you know how many he has?
Last time I checked, he had 9 or 10.
Because I know Hyun-Jin Ryu has 9 now.
But he's not in the American League.
Well, I mean, I thought we were talking MLB.
Oh, I would have said leads MLB.
Fair enough. You just said the league.
Yeah, because
Major League Baseball.
That's not how
the Major
That's
League.
not how that's not how the terminology works.
Nope.
You goddamn bitch.
Don't care.
He is tied. Germán, Ryu, and Verlander are all tied in wins.
Gotcha.
All right, so the National League, I think we can both kind of very safely say it's Hyun-Jin Ryu.
Yeah.
The 5 National League pitchers who are on this list, just by
I
going by
know
WAR for
Casemiro
pitchers.
Going to be in there.
I'm just gonna.
Okay.
I don't want to do a
just
guessing
gonna
game
guess.
with all the goddamn pitchers in the National
I
League.
thought it'd be fun.
Hyun-Jin Ryu, and then followed immediately by Max Scherzer, unsurprisingly. Then Luis Castillo, Germán Marquez, and Strasburg. What do you think about those 5 being sent?
I don't have any complaints against that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're all
What do you
really
think about
good
DeGrom
pitchers.
not making it? I know he's not having a great season relative to his performance last year, but he did just win the Cy Young. It'd be kind of odd.
Yeah, it would definitely be weird, especially since he's not like it's not like he imploded this year. That's just the way it is, though. I mean, there's a lot of good pitchers in the National League this year that are pitching really, really well. That's just the way life rolls, you know.
What do you think his ERA is right now, Jacob deGrom?
I
I have no idea either.
It's gonna be like a 3.9.
Actually, 3.49. 3.49, so about 3.5.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, he only has 1.9 wins above replacement. But again, it's not meant to be like a day-over-day stat. He is rocking that Jacob deGrom. That should be his nickname. He's rocking that Jacob deGrom win percent. He is currently 3 wins to 5 losses, so that sounds right. That sounds like the good old Jacob deGrom we all know and love. 1.15 ERA plus. Really? Okay. 69.2 innings pitched. Yeah, these all look like, number 1, number 2 starters numbers, but they don't look like. I mean, they obviously don't look like the Jacob deGrom numbers from last year. Those were fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Who would you pick for the Mets representative in the All-Star game? Pete Alonso? Who else would they send?
Heber deGrom.
Edwin Diaz for closer.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's it for me. I'd put him head and shoulders above everybody else there.
I could see them sending Alonso not as the starter, though. I think those would be the
the
only 2 dudes.
Dude has 20 home runs. Like, that's nothing to laugh at.
No, that's definitely for that alone. Okay, give me who would you want in the American League and the National League for the home run derby?
Ooh,
Give me just
how many do I have to pick?
How many do they actually do? Give me like 4.
4 in each.
4 in each. That sounds right.
So for the National League, I'd go Alonso, Yelich, Bellinger, Josh Bell.
That's a strong list.
Yeah. For the American League, barring health, I would say Stanton, Judge as the 2 big ones. Who else is there? Vogelbach, J.D. Martinez. I'm sure I'm leaving some huge.
I'm trying to think of the dudes that would also want to do it because I know like a lot of
those guys are not going to want to do it.
So that's why I know Luke Voigt wants to do it for the American League. Like I want to pick Gary Sanchez, but I don't think he'd do it. What about Franmil Reyes for the Padres?
Pretty cool, yeah.
That'd be cool. Hunter Renfroe.
Mike Trout.
I'm just looking at who
him for the American League.
I'm just looking at who leads the list right now in home runs.
George Springer this year.
Eddie Rosario, Jock Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
Who needs $1 million?
No one.
That's what. Well, I mean, some of these players, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like if Luke Voigt got it like won and got $1 million, that would be 1.5 times his pay for the season. I
could definitely see Pete Alonso wanting to gun for that top spot.
Oh fuck yeah!
Tommy La Stella maybe.
Ooh, that'd be an interesting pick. I would totally be down for that.
Mike Moustakas, I know he's done it in the past, but
I feel like the home run derby is very much so a young.
Hunter Dozier.
Oh wait,
Hunter Dozier.
it's in Cleveland this year, right?
Yeah.
So then Francisco Lindor and Jose Ramirez.
I honestly don't even think Jose Ramirez would have enough.
No, but I'm saying like they usually like to have a local guy in the
Right.
competition. So I'd imagine one of those two
far
dudes
and
would get
away
kind of
be-
put in.
Yeah. Lindor over Ramirez. Fucking Vladdy.
True.
Oh,
True.
I want to see him more than anybody. I don't want him to be cursed by the home run derby like everyone else is, but I want to see him do it regardless.
Yeah, that's what I'm most afraid of because, like, do you remember after Judge's rookie season he had shoulder surgery?
Mm-hmm. Didn't he say that was because of...
He actually did. Like, I think he didn't mean to. Like, I think he was trying to keep it under wraps, but, like, after a while he did end up saying that he sustained it during the home run derby.
Yeah.
So,
Is it all because of, like, you change your swing from producing to just straight up slinging home runs?
yeah,
and that
you just,
fucks
like,
with
put your entirety of everything behind every pitch because you know you're going to get a pitch to hit, and then they let you... I mean, how many pitches do you take in a round? You know what I mean? Like a couple dozen, and you do it for, like, if you win it, like Judge did, you do 3 rounds, I think, maybe a fourth. Definitely not more than 4.
So it goes from 8 to 4 to 2,
And then
so
the
it's
winner.
4 rounds.
Okay, so yeah, then like you that's a fuck ton of pitches just be going all out on, and it's a competition, not even just batting practice where you're working on your mechanics, where the distance matters. So yeah, that's another reason why it tends to be younger dudes who just don't give a shit and don't have to worry about their body breaking down.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
I'm like, there's no chance we see a guy like J.D. Martinez in it this year.
No. Could you imagine though if it was just like young dudes who don't care and old dudes who don't care?
Oh, like old versus young would be pretty cool.
Like Albert Pujols does it.
Miguel Cabrera
does
yeah.
it.
That'd be pretty fucking fun.
That'd be awesome. Oh, that'd be great.
Hit them with like Edwin Encarnacion.
Yep.
Fucking
else is
get
who's on the Twins?
Jose Bautista. Just bring him back.
Who's on the Twins? Who was on?
What
He was on the
position?
Mariners. The DH.
Oh, that was on the Mariners?
Yeah. Fucking Nelson Cruz.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, Nelson Cruz is like 38 or some shit.
Just imagine them being the 4 guys from the oldies and then getting all those young guys in there.
Yeah, all you gotta do is go, all right, guys, look, you can hit the ball, and then you don't have to run. And they'll be like, yes, that's all we're here for.
Just in like super broken English, like, no run? No run?
I
What?
think they can all speak English just fine.
I know, but I think it would be funnier if they didn't.
Was Albert Pujols born? I think Albert Pujols was born.
No, he went to high school in the U.S. or college in the U.S. He went to
Okay.
someplace in the U.S. I don't know.
St. Louis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on the MLB All-Star game? Do you like it?
What?
The All-Star game?
Yeah, it's one of the few All-Star things that I actually watch.
I think it's the only game I actually watch because I like the NHL skills competition.
Yep.
And
The home run derby, obviously.
and the home run derby, and I think the All-Star game is the only one I actually watch out of. Like, I don't watch the Pro Bowl or their skills
God, no.
competition for that matter.
I actually do watch their skills competition.
I'm sure it's fine. I just never care.
Last year and this year, they changed it up drastically, and that's made it so much better.
All right, maybe I will give it a shot this season, but I don't. I don't typically.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't typically. I'll watch the NHL All-Star game if like there's like nothing else happening.
Yeah.
Because I don't dislike it. I just like never go out of my way for it. But then again, I'm also just a bigger baseball fan than anything else.
Yeah, I like that it's 3-on-3 now.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
Because that makes it so much more enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, plus, then you don't have to take it as seriously as a player. You know what I mean? You have more
Yeah.
room to kind of just like do your own thing, not worry about getting hit or all that.
The only issue with like that one is because it's like right in the middle of a semester. I usually just don't have time to watch it, and it's not a high enough priority for me to put things out of the way to actually do it. You knew it exactly what I just did there.
Yeah, I saw it happen.
Uh,
All right, bud. Should we get out of here?
yeah, let's do that.
Okay. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do so at Juicing Pod. If you want to hit us up via email, you can do so at juicingthenumbers.gmail@gmail.com. I do that every fucking week.
Yeah.
And if you want to find our website, you can do so at juicingthenumbers.wixsite.com/website. And until Thursday, y'all have a good one.
Bye.